What is going on, everybody? It's about that time. TNA Hard to Kill is in the books. First show of 2024. And man, we had a banger. We had a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TNA Hard to Kill live post-show review. My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chi-Town Smart, man. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Man, we got a lot to get into, man. What is going on out there tonight, man? We got people showing up all over the place. As I'm looking at TNA tonight, I'm looking at Hard to Kill. I'm getting alerts all in my inbox. I'm hearing that Jack Perry has showed up in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's talk about that for a second, man. But before we get into all of that, the most important thing tonight, we have a brand new TNA World Champion, and his name is Moose. I was low-key hoping Moose would pull it off, man, but I didn't want to keep my hopes up just to get disappointed, but we got it. I feel like Moose should be champion right now. I feel like Moose has all the momentum, and we got just that. What can you say? For the first time in her time in TNA/Impact, Trinity has tasted defeat, and she is no longer the Knockouts champion. Jordan Grace wins, and a loser goes to the Royal Rumble match. And what a match it was, man. Then I'm hearing that Mercedes and Bayley were hanging out in the crowd, man. Let's play Where's Waldo tonight. Where's Jack Perry? Where's Mercedes? Where's Bayley? Tell you where Mercedes and Bayley were, man. They were in Las Vegas at the Palms. What a match that Trinity went out on. Can't be mad, man. I think the Trinity relationship with Impact/TNA, I think it served well for both sides. I do. I think it was a nice little getaway for Trinity to go and spread her wings a little bit, show that she can hold a title, she can hold the interest of an audience as champion, she can perform in the ring with some of the best. I think she would improve just that. All right. I think that the popularity that Trinity brought to TNA was well worth whatever it was Trinity got paid. At the time that she showed up, she was very hot off of WWE and her heat with her and Sasha walking out in the company. Everybody wanted to know, where's she going to show up? Where's Trinity going to show? Where's Mercedes going to show? Trinity wasted very little time, showed up on Impact, and then right away got to work. And she had a very nice little run. It's a few months. I think it was about 6 months or so. I don't have it right in front of me. But you can't be mad at that. Trinity wants to go back home. Trinity wants to go home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where her husband is. You can't blame her, man. You can't blame her. I think that's a nice little, if we had deals like this in pro wrestling, nice little 6-month deals, a year here and there. It's not very beneficial to the companies, but my God, is that awesome for the fans or what, man? Is that awesome for the fans or what? So, that being said, you know we're not going to get it too much because it's not beneficial to the companies. You don't want your top talent, holding your title and then escaping onto the competition right away. But what are you going to do, man? At the end of the day, everybody wants to make money. I just thought that was a beautiful thing. We also have ABC retaining their World Tag Team Championships in a banger of a match. Probably the match of the night to me, and the card was stacked. I didn't see a bad match on the card. If there was one, then that match was placed somewhere on the pre-show. The pre-show that I didn't get to see. I don't know about you guys. I didn't get to see it. Apparently, it was a part of the Insider Plus or the TNA Plus package, which I thought I was a member of, but I'm not. I guess things changed for the new year. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So let's get into it, man. But before we do, let's cover a couple of things that we need to address on the channel. All right. If you guys have noticed, if you were a channel member before and you're not a channel member now, and the super chats are not on, and all of the super stickers and all of the things that I greatly appreciate for you guys to help support the channel, unfortunately, they're not on at this time. When I say I'm changing everything on the channel, I'm changing everything. So I had to change some banking information. I had to change some things around. And because of a technicality for the way that I'm trying to set things up going forward, I have to pause my YouTube partnership program for 30 days. And in 30 days or so, it'll be cleared up. Everything will be back to normal. I'll let you guys know. But for right now, I'm just appreciative of your presence. If you're here to support, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. That would also be fantastic. I'll get everything squared away in a couple of weeks. And what can I say, man? YouTube is very particular about certain things, and you try to make a change or two, and they get all bent out of shape, and they want to make you wait and cool off and make up your mind and all of this other shit. But what can you do? What can you do? Also, where are we right now? I am coming to you live. Not from home. You might think I'm at home. I'm not at home. I traveled. I got out of the house and traveled for you guys. We are right now live in the Pearl at the Palm in Las Vegas, man. We are live in location at the Palm in Las Vegas. They already cleared out. If you can see, they cleared out the ring and everything. That stuff's all cleared out. And they emptied the venue just so that I could have this show right here for you guys. This is exclusively brought to you guys live from the venue itself in Las Vegas. Where else do you get that? Where else do you get that, man? Only right here. Only right here, guys. Yes, I do. So I do have PayPal, Cash App. If you would like to donate to the channel, I'll tell you guys what. Go to my Twitter. Go to my Twitter and look at the top of my bio page, and you will see tips there. And I will go and check that at the end of the show, and I will read off all messages that you guys might put through right there. I didn't think about that. I should have put that in there. But if there are any of you out there who are really, really, really interested in donating to the channel, please do so. Go to my Twitter page, Chi-Town Smart. And at the top, there is a tip jar there. And I believe there's an area you can leave a message, and I will read your message right here on the live stream. Bruh, let's get into it. I see a few of you guys asking, no, JD is not here. JD is at home. with his old fashioned, probably arguing with his cat. He was unable to make it to this show, but don't worry, guys. I will have JD on the show at some point in the future. Don't worry. In the meantime, you're stuck with me, bruh. You are stuck with me. Let's get into the show. After the pre-show that I didn't get to see, but then I found out that Flop Dollar was on the pre-show. Then I said, oh, man. Sounds like I'm not missing too much of anything on this pre-show. Flop Dollar was out there with my boy Joe Hendry. Stuff went down there. Outside of that, I don't think too much of anything happened on the pre-show. If so, we'll get into it on our next episode here on the channel, man. We have the Knockouts Ultimate X. They start off right away. We get Giselle Shaw versus Zaya Brookside, the daughter of Robbie Brookside. Remember her? Remember? Well, she's here, man. She is a part of the TNA Knockouts roster now. We have the Giselle Shaw, Zaya Brookside, Jody Threat versus Tasha Steelz versus Alicia Edwards versus Danny Luna, who is also now a part of the TNA Knockouts division, man. This division is growing slowly but surely right in front of us, man. It is picking up. They did lose Trinity. That's a big blow. But everything else around the division is coming along great. There was another signing that happened. Man, really don't want to get into that one. But it happened, and we'll just talk about it later on when it happened. So we don't have to talk about it any more than we have to. All right, so we got Danny Luna. We got Zaya, and we got Threat. They find themselves in the ring alone after tossing out the season roster members. They want to get the newbies out there, get this match started. Threat lifts up Zaya, but Luna drop kicks them both. Steele slides back, but Zaya throws clotheslines. Shaw pumps kicks Zaya in the face and lands the corner uppercuts. Threat, dude, I love Jody Threat so much. I say this all the time, but I don't think I say it enough. Jody Threat reminds me of a version 1 Becky Lynch. Just that energy. Remember the last kicker before she was overly cringe? That's Jody Threat right now. Love her. Love her. Threat trips Luna and Alicia into the ropes with running knees. Luna tosses bodies with exploder suplexes. Zaya flies off the top onto Luna and Shaw onto the floor. Threat follows suit and leaps to the floor. Threat scales the structure with Alicia on her back. Threat is scaling the one of the pillars used to hold up the Ultimate X briefcase over the ring. And she just straight up got Alicia just on her back. I mean, it was one of those moments I was watching and kind of like, oh my God, please don't die. Please don't die. By the way, if you hear like what sounds like a herd of buffalo outside of my house, it's just a snowplow. It snowed yesterday in Chicago, and now the deep freeze is coming. So that's how our weather comes out here in Chicago, man. We get nothing or we get everything. What can you say? So Threat, she bucks Alicia off of her back, and then Alicia falls onto the floor of everyone gathered. You know how everyone gathers around, the fucking structures when someone climbs and waits for them to fall down. Happens every time. Tasha gets back into the mix to cut off Threat from climbing up the beam. Steelz then hits Threat with a cutter onto the floor. So she had her up on the structure. She got her in the cutter, and she took the cutter down to the outside onto the newly formed pile of women. It was in theory when it played out, it actually looked kind of painful, But as it was happening, I was like, "What is she doing? What is the plan? Why would she try to go? Why would she try to go to the outside with this cutter?" But in execution, it looked pretty nice. It looked pretty painful, but it didn't look like anyone get too hurt from it. So, so let's see. So then Alicia gets back into the ring. She starts her climb to the top. Steels cuts her off, followed by Threat. Luna runs up and they hit the Tower of Doom. All right. On the other side, Shaw tries to stop Xia Li, but Luna powerbombs Shaw. Xia is on the cable. She's hanging down from the cable, like trying to climb over to the X. But Luna pulls her down onto her own shoulders and straight into a powerbomb. Looked nasty as fuck, dude. Looked nasty as fuck. So she just flops straight down to Danny Luna's shoulders, and then in one fell swoop, boom, boom, powerbomb into the ring. Not look like something I would want to take. Not nice, dude. Luna and Threat trade blows before Luna does a double suplex on Steels and Threat. Alicia crawls on the cable. So this time, Alicia, instead of scaling the cable with her hands, she puts her legs up too, so that her legs can't be grabbed and she can't be pulled down. It's very smart. Until Danny Luna pulls her down anyway, somehow. I think her legs got tired of dangling or something like that, which is really weird. But then Alicia counters the powerbomb into a DDT. So that was pretty nice. Alicia whacks everyone with the kendo stick until Xia hits a lung blower. Alicia flatlines Luna. Then Threat hits Alicia and Xia with a double F5, dude. It was sick. It was sick. It was a F5, 2-for-1. Brock would have been proud. Tasha Steelz tornado DDTs Threat. Shaw spears Threat off the cables. These women went berserk, man. They went in, man. And this is the opening match. I think they kicked it off very well. What happened then? Let's see. The Shaw spears Threat off the cables. Tasha Steelz, Luna, and Shaw climb at the same time, but Luna is the first to fall, followed by Steelz. And then Giselle Shaw unhooks the Ultimate X and wins. Giselle Shaw gets a title match at her leisure when she is ready. The winner, nothing surprising. Giselle Shaw has always been high on Scott D'Amore's to-do list. If you know, you know. The match was fantastic, man. The match was fantastic. These women killed it, all of them. The opening match, great selection for an opening match. The energy for the match, fantastic. You can tell that no one went out there to half-ass it. You can tell they went out there to put in a pay-per-view quality match, and that's exactly what they ended up doing. Fantastic match to start the show. You couldn't have done any better than that right there. Next up, we have PCO. PCO, a.k.a. HGH. PCO came out looking buff. Bruh. Did you guys see PCO? Did you guys see PCO out there, man? Could it be any more obvious? Okay. PCO versus Dirty Dango. Dirty Dango gets on the mic for a second. He has something to say. he gets on the mic. He says, for a second, to express their hatred towards TNA wrestling, Dango says, man, I hate TNA wrestling. That's his promo. Cut and scene, bruh. I don't think he can be any more of a heel than that. PCO comes out on a stretcher. You got the mad scientist and the doctors, you know, using what mad scientists and doctors use to resuscitate their patient. Jumper cables. We had fucking jumper cables, bruh. And he went to put the jumper cables down and he just kind of sparked them together. He didn't put them on the bolts that were supposed to be on the side of his. Whatever. I digress. But he used the sparks from the jumper cables and PCO woke up. Right? Only the way PCO can. I don't know why it looks like he's double fit. Okay, all right. Look, man. Nonetheless, PCO is alive. He gets up off the gurney, lets the world know that he's alive. Dango goes on the attack right away before getting clotheslined right away. PCO sends Dango to the outside, only to give a dive straight through the ropes. PCO was clearly on a mission from God to kill himself tonight. This guy was trying his hardest to kill himself, man. They get back inside. PCO goes up top, but Bravo attacks him for the DQ. Bravo right away comes in and attacks PCO, gets DQ'd. But on that DQ, when Bravo got in and interfered, PCO came down from the top rope. This dude landed straight on his head, bro. Straight on his head. Like, every doctor around ringside was about to bum rush the ring. Then you could see them all get to the aprons. The ref went diving over there to, see what the hell happened. The guy keeps moving. The ref is over there like, should we call you a surgeon? PCO just starts, I start texting JD. Yeah, it looks like PCO is dead. The guy gets up. And since it was a DQ very early on, Santino Morella comes out and says, we're going to make this into a tag team match, player. He didn't say player, but I wish he would have. Seems to me when you make a tag team match, you should be required to say player. Right? Isn't that how it should be? It should be mandatory. I think Teddy made that famous, man. I think that should just be. So, Dango and Bravo beat down PCO until Rhino comes running down to make that save, and then Santino comes out and he makes it a 6-man tag because he adds Jake something to Rhino and PCO's team because he just knew that, that Bravo was going to get involved and all this stuff. So now we got a 6-man tag. PCO, Rhino, and Jake something versus Dirty Dango, Bravo, and Olg Purdis. Dude, I have no idea who this guy was. No clue. I'm trying to find out. I have no idea who Olg was. But PCO goes up top and hits the PCO salt. On the floor, PCO does the apron senton. Keep in mind, this is the dude who just landed on his goddamn head. This is the guy who just landed on his head. He has now done 2 more dive spots. One of them scared the ever living shit out of me again because his head barely cleared. It barely cleared. I don't know what's going on, but someone needs to slow this guy down. He has a death wish out there, man. I'm not sure what's going on with PCO, but someone please slow this guy down before he kills himself, man. He never appears to be a danger to someone else. It doesn't look like he's a danger to get someone else hurt. Every time it's just him. He's always the one in danger. He's gonna kill himself. Like, he'll put himself in danger to make sure his opponent is safe. That's what kind of guy PCO is. Rhino comes in to continue the attack. Oleg. They call him, I don't know what the fuck. He sneaks in and clotheslines Rhino. Dango tries to cover. Bravo and Dango pull Rhino's legs apart. Dango goes up for a knee drop from the top rope, but Rhino evades. Jake something returns with clotheslines and a body check. PCO and Bravo come in, and PCO does a corner lung blower, followed by a leg drop. Rhino and Olg come face to face before trading blows. It was a meaty men slapping meat type meeting. Let's see, Dango pulls Rhino by the hair, but Rhino launches Dango to the mat. Rhino gores Bravo. Jake something slams Dango onto Bravo. PCO goes up top and lands the PCO salt for the win. Simple match. Nothing crazy. You know, baby faces win here. It was fun. You know, it was a lot of the campy, you know, the campy stuff that normally looked like it would be on WWE type deal. It was the only match like that. It was fun. It was harmless. You know, what can you say? Straight away after that, we get the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, bro. We get MK Ultra versus Rosemary and Havoc. DK is back together once again. For those of you who've been following around, Rosemary and Havoc have been gone, and it's just been Jessica and whatever the hell that it is that Rosemary was doing, Courtney Rush. I hated that gimmick so much, man. I hated it so much. Rosemary was one of my favorite gimmicks in TNA at the time, and she just went away. But today she came back, and she looks good out there, man. Gotta love Rosemary. And they're out there wrestling MK Ultra, Masha Slamovich, and Killer Kelly. And if you don't know who they are, you need to. You need to. Because they are one fantastic tag team. Masha has been hitting the indie scene as of late, going around putting on spectacular matches, man. Guys, women, doesn't matter, dude. Masha is a goddamn killer. Speaking of killer, Killer Kelly does a running kick on the Rosemary for a cover. Rosemary pops off the mat to cover Kelly. Havoc and Masha meet in the middle. MK Ultra counters a double clothesline, but then gets hit with a double suplex. Kelly clotheslines Rosemary out of the ring. Masha hits Havoc with a snowplow. Masha hits Havoc with a snowplow. So, those of you might not know, Masha, awesome wrestler. Masha's probably the size of, I would say Masha's probably somewhere the size of like Asuka. Something like that. Havoc is somewhere around the size of Doudrop. Okay? Doudrop. If that's even still her name, I don't even know. And Masha just Michinoku driving her right there in the middle of the fucking ring. No, that was an insane spot. Insane spot, man. Havoc lays out Kelly and pins for the win. Winners and new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, DK. A little bit of I wouldn't say a squash, because MK Ultra definitely got some damage in there. It was a pretty good match, but definitely something that could have used more time. It wasn't a scheduled match. It was very impromptu. I don't know how this happened. How wasn't this match not scheduled? I don't know. And if it got thrown in, I don't know why they did a title swap. I don't know. Maybe someone's hurt. I don't know. But nonetheless, DK is now, they are now the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and my girls, MK Ultra, are not. And I'm a little salty about that. But what can you do, man? We have the X Division Championship. Chris Sabin, the current X Division champion, versus Kushida versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Remember him? Vikingo. Featured very often on AEW television, to the point where he's barely even special anymore. I remember when we first saw him, the guy was a treat to watch. The guy was special. And I know he was special because AEW commentary kept telling me over and over and over that the guy is special. I was starting to wonder if the guy had special needs or something, man. But nonetheless, we get all of that X Division action right here tonight on Hard to Kill. So, Kushida double heel kicks them, these other two guys, on to send them to the floor with his double heel kick. Kushida launches off the apron and wipes out Chris Sabin. Kushida brings Vikingo back inside and tries to work the left arm, but Vikingo quickens the pace. Again, Vikingo only knows one speed. The guy only knows one speed, man. Vikingo hits Kushida with a Hurricane Rana out of the corner. And that Hurricane Rana was sick because he started from the top rope and did like a 360, landed onto the Hurricane Rana. It was so weird, man. The guy is special. The guy is special. Kushida locks up Vikingo on the mat as Sabin chops Kushida, which wrenches Vikingo's legs. Kushida super suplexes. I'm sorry, Sabin, with the ankle lock still in. Kushida monkey flips Vikingo, who also flips Sabin. All right, all three men go down to the crowd, chants for them, all these guys. Sabin sends Kushida out, but Vikingo stays in. Bouncing off with a kick to the head. Vikingo knees Sabin in the head and then steps out with a 450 onto Sabin onto the ramp. The ramp was up to the level of ringside on the one side. Incredible, man. Back inside the ring, Vikingo covers. Vikingo goes for the cover. Vikingo goes up top, and Kushida wipes his feet out from up under him. All right. The hoverboard lock flips off to the top onto the mat. Sabin kicks to break it up. Kushida rolls Sabin. Kushida traps Sabin in a hoverboard, only for Vikingo to stomp on him. On the ramp, Sabin super kicks Vikingo and then lands a Canadian Destroyer on the ramp. Kushida heel kicks Sabin and then goes up top with him. Sabin slips through and runs back to toss Kushida with a German suplex. Sabin lifts Kushida and manages the cradle shock for the win. Chris Sabin retains X Division Championship, man. Chris Sabin has been not the most exciting, but the most consistent. I will give him that. As it pertains to current champions in TNA. He's been around, man. From my understanding, this guy has held every version of the X Division Championship title belt that has ever existed in the history of the company. That's longevity, man. That's someone always having faith in you to lead a division. So that alone is very impressive. We have Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, versus Alex Hammerstone. Hammerstone, that sounds like a creator wrestler name. I am Alex Hammerstone. You know, I wasn't too familiar with his work. Did a quick dive, asked a few questions. He's a former MLW champion, very well respected on top guy. So I have to get more familiar with his work because this match I was impressed. I was impressed. He was in there with Josh Alexander, who, from what I can tell, can have a fantastic match with a ball of lint. So, I don't know. But I like what I saw from Mr. Hammerstone, so I can't complain about that at all. They lock up to start. Josh pivots to working the arm and then tries targeting the leg. Hammerstone shoves Josh down, but Josh goes right back for that ankle lock again. Josh can be tenacious when it comes to moves like that. It reminds me of a young Kurt Angle, you know. Hammerstone pushes Josh off and then leaps out onto the floor. Josh twists at Hammerstone's ankle in the ropes. Alexander does a dragon screw on the left leg before he continues twisting at that ankle. Hammerstone regains his footing, whipping Josh across the ring before hoisting him over with a belly-to-belly suplex. Josh escapes off Hammerstone's shoulders and then drops him back first onto the apron. Nasty spot. Absolutely nasty spot. That looked like that really, really, really hurt. But that was one of the things that I've noticed from Mr. Hammerstone, man. He was taking some pretty big bumps, and he's a pretty big guy. Hammerstone's a pretty big guy, man. He reminded me of a what did I text JD? I told him he reminded me of a Parker Boudreaux type sized guy. Only thing, Hammerstone can actually wrestle his ass off. That was the difference that I noticed there. But back inside, Josh goes for the ankle lock, but Hammerstone kicks his way out. Hammerstone rallies the crowd while on his knees, and Josh kicks him right in the face for that. Motherfucker, you will not rally my goddamn fans. That's what he said to him. Hammerstone hoists Alexander and does a swinging slam. Hammerstone clobbers Josh in the corner with 10 clubs to the chest. Hammerstone with a scoop slam cover. Josh traps Alex in the ankle lock once again, but Hammerstone reaches the bottom rope. Hammerstone's left leg gives out on him, but he still manages to hit the Nightmare Pendulum. Very nice move. Josh rolls away from the cover, so he didn't get a cover in time to capitalize on that fantastic move. On the apron, Hammerstone plants Josh with a Death Valley driver. Alex lands a missile dropkick off the top, followed by a TKO in a cover attempt. They trade blows in the center until Josh hits a couple of rolling forearms. Hammerstone turns Josh inside out before hitting a German suplex and a sit-out powerbomb for a near fall. Josh forearms to the neck, throws the German. C4 spike connects. Josh wins. What can you say, man? The golden boy over there, Josh Alexander, was not going to lose that match, right? But very impressed. Very impressed by the match, man. Loved it. Loved it. So far on the card, there was no match, and spoiler alert for the rest of the night, there were no bad matches, man. The card was completely solid. Through and through. Really can't complain, man. Really can't complain. Once again, guys, if you're just joining me, the super chats are down for the month right now. I appreciate your donations. For this time right now, just join me, hang out. I'll get them back up and running in a couple of weeks. The memberships, all of that stuff, unfortunately, is not working right now. If you would like to donate to the stream right now and get your message read, you can go to my Twitter page, and there is a tip jar right there. I'm seeing things are already coming in, and I will be reading these messages. I see you, Matt. These will be read at the end of the show. Thank you guys so much. We have TNA World Tag Team Championship, ABC. Ace Austin, Chris Bay versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Rascals versus Mike Bailey and the Laredo Kid. And Ace and Gibson kicks things off, man. I was talking to JD before this, but this is a tag team division, man. This is what he says when he tuned in and he saw these guys. This is what you call a solid tag team division. This was easily my favorite match on the card. I figured they would kill it tonight, and they did. They absolutely did. The Rascals with Mike Bailey and Laredo Kid, dude. I mean, the match wasn't even whole. It didn't end up happening the way they originally booked it because of travel issues, and it was still killer, man. It was still a badass match. So we get, let's see what happened here. The Rascals double team Bay until Bailey and Laredo double team Trey. We get, wait, where is my? I lost my. There it is. Mike rolls up Gibson and everyone runs in to break it up. All four teams have a standoff in the middle of the ring. We get all 8 men getting ready to square off and beat the crap out of each other. The referee is out there trying to play mediator. Like, hey, you guys don't fight. Everybody go to their corners and then fight, which I don't get. There's no DQ. Why are you sitting out there on the side of the apron following the rules when there's no DQ? Go figure. Grizzled Young Veterans go on the double team again as Drake flies in with a drop kick. GYV keeps Bailey cornered with in and out tags. Drake grounds Bailey with a headlock. Laredo runs into both Drake and Wentz before dropping Drake with a DDT. Kid and Wentz go up top as Kid drops him with a huge driver. Cover attempt. ABC double teams Wentz, but the Grizzled Young Veterans tag in on the champs. Wentz eats double kicks from Kid and Bailey before GYV runs in for the pin on Wentz with a near fall right there. Doomsday Device from Grizzled Young Veterans to Wentz before Kid double drop kicks GYV. Bailey gets the tag as Gibson continues working Kid. Bailey flips out onto the floor and Drake stops Kid in his tracks. Bailey climbs up and hits Drake with a Poison Rana. Tornado kick across the ring on the Drake. Kid takes out Gibson. Ultimo weapon from Bailey on the Drake. Rascals break it up. Rascals double kick Bailey before. Wait, hold on. That's not what I was. There we go. There we go. Until the Bailey double kicks Gibson and everyone else runs to break it up. All four teams have a standoff and the ref loses his mind. The ref was trying so hard. The ref was trying so hard to keep the order here. Kid and Wentz go up top as Kid drops him with a huge driver in the cover. ABC double teams Wentz, but GYV tags in. And on the champ, Doomsday Device from GYV to Wentz before Kid double drop kicks GYV. Bailey flips out onto the floor, and then Drake stops Kid in his tracks. Bailey climbs up and hits Drake with a Poison Rana. Did that part already. Here we go. Kid takes out Gibson. Ultimate weapon from Bailey. Rascals break it up. All right. Rascals double kick Bailey before Trey sends Kid to the floor. Wins hits Bailey with a cutter. Rascals double team Drake with a double stomp. Ace breaks Trey's cover. Bay tags in, and Drake and ABC meet Rascals for punches. ABC hits 1, 2, 3 on a Trey, and Bay covers to retain. If it was a lot of action at once, that's how it played out on TV, man. These guys were all over the goddamn place. ABC retains the titles as I expected. I don't think there's anyone in the company close to ABC right now except the Rascals. The Rascals are also fantastic at what they do. But right now, ABC is at the top of their game. You really can't argue against them being champions right now. We have the knockouts. Trinity versus Jordan Grace. Loser goes to the Royal Rumble match. You know, we all knew that Trinity was on the way out, but it wasn't a foregone conclusion that she was going to drop the title here. She could have dropped it in the tapings tomorrow. So, but for right now, Trinity versus Jordan Grace. All right. And as that match gets started, like I said before, there was another signing to the women's division, and out came Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke. God damn it, man. Trinity and Jordan Grace starts with a handshake and then a lockup. Grace flexes and Trinity twerks. They wanted to show their strong points. So Jordan flexed and Trinity twerked. No complaints here. No complaints here. All right. So Trinity ducks a clothesline and does a back kick. Grace drops Trin back first on the mat before doing chops in the corner. Grace with a power slam, pin attempt, and a kick out. Trinity avoids the Juggernaut driver by rushing to the ropes. Trinity leaps off the top with a crossbody followed by a spiking face buster. All right, Grace regains her footing and flies through the ropes to tackle Trinity before hitting the jackhammer on the floor, though. Ash is Elegance is shown on camera, clapping. You know, there was a moment that I was worried, a few of us were worried, that Dana Brooke was the big signing that Scott D'Amore was alluding to over the past few weeks. Man, I was worried. Bruh. Thank Christ. So we cut back to the ring where Trinity kicks Grace in the chest. They trade slaps until Trinity drives Grace into the turnbuckle and lands the split-legged moonsault. Cover. Grace catches Trinity out of the corner with a muscle buster. Shades of the current AEW World Champion Samoa Joe. Near fall. Trinity powers out of a cover and traps Grace with a Starstruck. Grace covers, but Trinity pops up with a rear view for another near fall. On the apron, Trinity spikes Grace and covers. Back inside, they trade blows again before Grace does a spinning shot. Trinity powers Grace up with a sit-out powerbomb and turns it into a Starstruck. Trinity was hell-bent on getting that Starstruck in, man. Grace stands up with Starstruck and applied. So Grace stands up with the Starstruck applied, and Trinity uses the ropes for leverage. Grace pivots into a German. Spinning back fist from Grace, followed by Juggernaut driver for the 1, 2, 3. Winner and new TNA Knockouts champion, Jordan Grace. Once again, they show Ash by Elegance clapping at ringside. I don't know why. Jordan and Trinity hug it out. Trinity's bummed out, makes her exit. Off on social media, we find out that in the balconies watching on was one Sasha Monet and one Pam, aka Bailey. Came out to see their girl perform. It's good to see that kind of friendship and support and love for pro wrestling, man, amongst the talent. It's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic thing, man. So, main event time. We have TNA World Champion Alex Shelley versus Moose. Moose has the system with him for his entrance. You know, got his little crew with him. Well, Alex Shelley is accompanied by Chris Sabin and Kushida. Get his little crew with him, man. Got his little crew with him. Moose comes out with Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards, you know. Got his little crew out there. Got ex-football players out there. Moose got his support. Moose had his little Ric Flair style type robe, man. Moose came out with win face. Moose came out looking like I'm winning, and I know I'm gonna win. You can always tell that main event win face at the start of a show if you look close enough, man. So Moose offers a handshake to Alex Shelley to start, but Shelley slaps them shits away. He said, nah. We not doing no handshakes, bro. Slaps it away. Moose shoves Shelley's face so Shelley spits water at him. This asshole was storing water in his mouth to spit at him. I mean, what did you plan on it? I mean, what the fuck? So I guess he planned on it ahead of time. So Shelley traps Moose in a left arm stretch on the mat. All right. They shortly move to the outside where Moose chops at Shelley and throws him against the apron, right? Moose quickly scoops up Shelley and slams him on the floor. Moose sends Shelley back inside, but Shelley twists Moose's arm in the ropes. And that was a start right there because the whole story of this match is Moose's arm. Moose's left arm is fucking dangling, let him call it. It was about to fall off early on into the match. Shelley continues to work the left arm over until Moose pulls out Snake Eyes to get him off. Moose eventually hits Uranagi in an attempt to keep the champ down. Moose delivers chops to the chest, and Shelley just welcomes it. Like, come on, bring on them chops. Turns out accepting chops from Moose intentionally was a bad idea. Both men struggling back up to their feet when Shelley pulls out a running drop kick followed by a running forearm shot. Shelley does a baseball slide to knock Moose into the barricade. Moose then trips Shelley so he lands nose first on the apron. Shelley escapes off Moose's shoulders and sends him into the post to set up Shell Shock on the floor. They get back inside. Shelley attempts to cover. Forearm blast from Shelley, followed by a couple of pinfall attempts. Shelley tries for the stretch, but Moose gets to his feet. He lifts Shelley up for a powerbomb, near fall. Moose runs into the turnbuckle when Alex sidesteps. Shelley tries to clothesline his larger challenger, avoids a Uranagi, and lands sliced bread instead. Another near fall. Then D'Angelo Williams, Eddie Edwards, and Myers walked out to the ramp. So here comes the shenanigans, right? But Sabin and Kushida run down to counter. Moose blasts Shelley from behind before Shelley sends Moose to the ramp. Shelley drops Moose shoulder first against the ramp. Back inside, they trade several chops. Moose does a wicked headbutt. I mean, it was a nasty headbutt and Shelly turns him inside out with a clothesline. They're laid out in the ring. The crowd has come unglued. Shelly rallies them. He delivers a super kick, but Moose avoids cell shock and hits a spear out of nowhere. Moose has the best goddamn spear in the business. Don't even argue with me on that one. Hits him with a spear right out of nowhere. Boom. Moose wins. And new TNA World Champion, Moose. Then all of a sudden, music hits, lights go out, a la Tony Khan style. Nick Nemeth's name appears on the screen. Dolph shows up in the ring, looking like Dolph, the long hair, you know. It's going to take me a while to call him Nick Nemeth, man. He's going to have to be Dolph for a while with me. It's just Dolph. It's just who you are, bro. Sorry, man. Nick appears behind Moose and then attacks him. Nemeth runs out of the crowd to celebrate, rips off his t-shirt to reveal a TNA t-shirt, letting the world know that Dolph is all about the TNA, bruh. All about the TNA is Dolph. And that is how the show goes off of the air, man. What a jam-packed wrestling show. So we just did a review on JD's channel about wrestling shows need to be more than just great wrestling. This show was great wrestling. You want to know why? Because it was a pay-per-view. All of the weekly shows are supposed to be where you give us our stories. So then when we get to the pay-per-views, we can get excited about the wrestling. All right? And that's what they gave us tonight. They gave us fantastic wrestling, man. Cannot complain. That is today's show, you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for being here tonight. Like I said, I am sorry about the super chats being down, the memberships being down for the time being. I promise you guys a couple of things. One, I will get that fixed as soon as YouTube allows me to. Second of all, you are going to get a lot more content from this channel. A lot more content. We're going to start doing news shows. We're going to start doing other shows. Probably going to start doing Rampage and Collision right here on the channel, man. So stay tuned. Stick around. If your membership has expired, when you are allowed to, re-up. Don't worry. This channel is going to make a big comeback, and we're going to do big shit for 2024, man. Let's get into, we have one, let me see, let me check and skin, refresh. We have one super chat from Matt Kaxmar. Hope I got that right. $10 super chat says, loving the new look. Glad to see you back. Thank you so much, Matt, for the $10 super chat, bro. I appreciate it. This is the new layout for right now. I did this all myself. I didn't hire anybody. I'm learning how to do all of this stuff on the fly. And that's something else I'm going to be doing. I'm going to learn to do all of my own editing and all of my own graphic designs, because it's kind of hard to depend on someone else to do things according to the schedule that you need them done. So it's always easier to just flat out do them yourself. And that's exactly what I'm going to do instead. So again, there's going to be a lot more content coming from this channel, man. And I cannot wait to get into it. 2024 is going to be a very, very big year for your boy right here on YouTube. Guys, that is the show. Thank you guys so much. All of you who tuned in and joined, I greatly appreciate it. I cannot say that enough. Stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please do. Turn on notifications, because who knows? Who knows when the next upload can come? We're going to get some regular content out. There might be some irregular stuff pop out. We don't know. We'll find out, and we'll get a regular schedule going, and we'll find the stuff out at the same exact time together, man. So, let me check that again. There we go. So that is today's show. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view, and even better, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Guys, that is it. My name is Jesse, aka your very own one and only Chi-Town Smart, and I will see you guys sooner than you think. Peace.